How's it going, people? It is Monday. This is slightly late, but fuck it. Update day. So let's get into it then, shall we? So starting off, we've got the Easter egg event. Well, I say event, it's a mini-quest. Same old, same old. So Easter egg paraments, that's pretty much what it's called. Also, the guthixian butterflies are back once again. If you're after the Easter event, there's a little hole and a bunny rabbit just to the west of the Port Sarim lodestone, give or take. Basically, you talk to him and then catch some Jingo eggs and... same old, same old. Either way, the guthixian butterflies, if you don't remember what they are, you can collect them on Iron Man as well as your regular account. And basically, you can catch up to 20 a day, I believe it is, and you get small chunks of XP, and you unlock some of the story for Guthix from once upon a time ago. The mini quest and these butterflies are going to be available for 2 weeks, and they will both end on the 13th of April. There are no requirements for the Easter event. So there we go. Pretty much what it is. So for completing this little mini game, what do you get? Well, you can get a huge XP lamp, a Jadingo pet, an emote, your Jadingo slippers override, and an egg on a fork weapon override, plus some animation overrides for cooking. Pretty much it. That's really all there is to it. In other news, Google Chrome will soon no longer support Java, which is a bit weird in and of itself, but apparently that's a thing. So basically, Jagex is saying go download the client. Either that or use Firefox. Or if you really have to, and I do mean really. Cringeworthy. Use Internet Explorer. Oh, I didn't say that. Didn't say it. Nope, didn't come out of my mouth. Fucking Internet Explorer. Fucking hell. Use Opera first. Right, either way, onto the patch notes, because it is Monday. Lots of patch notes and stuff. So, Dimension of Disaster's got its own title. And it goes on and on and on. So let's get into this. So the Tiny Zamorgal Pets chat has been improved. The damage bonus from the Darklight Sword now works against certain eligible NPCs which were previously unaffected. Low value drops have been removed from the new Varrock guards. New Varrock zombies can now drop more valuable items. The following rewards can be added to GuthixianRS's reward shop. For 2 silver pennies, coal can be purchased from Sani and spider silk can be purchased from Zaf in New Varrock. Bellends. For 3 silver pennies, a cosmetic override pack containing 3 main hand and 3 offhand swords, the Silverlight, the Dyed Silverlight and the Darklight, can be obtained. The code key for the Defender of Varrock and Curse of Arav decoder doors will now be displayed during the decoder strip puzzle little mini screen thing after completing the full quest once. So when you replay it basically. Dyed Silverlight has been graphically updated in Shadow of the Storm and Dimension of Disaster. Thessalia now sells balls of wool in New Varrock for using string and amulets. Don't know why you'd want to do that. Astral and Blood Runes have been added to Aubrey's shop in New Varrock. Logs up the tick have been added to Uris, the crafter in New Varrock. Moving through the New Varrock Palace portcullis is now faster. Healing orbs dropped on the Zamorgal fight in New Varrock are now larger and simpler to pick up. Players can now use a Staff of Fire to superheat the Tin Soldier in New Varrock without fire runes. Players searching a treasure chest in New Varrock without a lockpick will now be told how to get one. Lighting has been altered to make GuthixianRS in New Varrock look more like a zombie. Players can now correctly remove the New Varrock pocketbook from their pocket slot. The number of available Zema marks displayed in the New Varrock pocketbook is now correct. The New Varrock apothecary will now take payment consistently for each strength potion you purchase. It is no longer possible to walk through a piece of fence in New Varrock. Fire spirits and bird nests no longer appear within New Varrock. Rat bones and rat tails no longer drop in New Varrock. Player inventories will now correctly restore if they log out during the Arav fight in the Dimension of Disaster. Players can now consistently retrieve the Shield of Arav from the New Varrock Museum if it's lost. Items will now be saved correctly if a player lapses out of the membership while playing Dimension of Disaster. That's really specific, that one. The search option on Zamorgal's bedroom bookcases has been removed. Dimension of Disaster's reward interface will no longer use plural when purchasing something for just 1 silver penny. Aubrey's free elemental runes in New Varrock now restock more slowly and in lower quantity. Bastards. Catbot 9000 in New Varrock will now only take 1 Dougal leaf. By order of Zamorgal, signposts to inferior city-states surrounding New Varrock have been removed. Players watching others complete the Delwith boss fight during Dimension of Disaster will no longer see their version of the demon explode. Players can now give a microbrew to Tiny Zemo inside the vault in New Varrock. Arav is now referred to as the hero of Varrock at the end of Dimension of Disaster. The Spellner Carapac in Zamorgal's notes in New Varrock use orange and purple mist on the Tin Soldier and the statue description in New Varrock Palace have all been fixed. The Varrock Herald has published a reprint of their newspaper in Varrock due to a complaint from Aubrey. Arav's name is now used instead of the player's name in conversations when the player is controlling Arav. A lore issue in the Ralvash section of Zamorgol's notes in New Varrock have been fixed, and Arav's reaction to Elamaria during dimensional disasters has been toned down. So hang on a minute. Just so I can check this again. I wasn't dreaming. The 2 silver pennies, coal can now be purchased from Sani, and spider silk can be purchased from Zaf in New Varrock. Right, for those of you who don't know, for the elite task and the longest taking one of the lot, you need to wear full level 20 armor. And the only way to get that was from the New Varrock guards, and they took fucking ages to kill, and they had shit drop chances. The only other way to do it is steal someone else's level 20 and trade it with them, and then wear it and do the whatever to complete the task. Yeah! Now we gotta get 2 silver pennies. Well, it's a lot easier, but now I gotta run through the entire fucking quest again just to complete that. That's annoying. Either way, moving on, we have the graphical stuff, so here we go. Dogs no longer walk at jaunty angles when walking on uneven terrain. The mortarboard head override. Mortarboard. With dragon variant here will no longer cause the top portion of a player's head to disappear. Don't... I can't help myself but just mortarboard. Mortarboard. Oh my god, I can't even say it. Just reminded me of something else. Motorburn. I don't know why. It just comes to mind. A clipping issue in the ostentatious ostentatious bar in the player reports has been fixed. Fuck it. Come on, Simon, you can speak. You know English. 'Tis a thing. The animation for barge will now correctly charge towards the player's target. A set of drawers in Varrock no longer changes colours when opening. Moving on to your skills and minigames. Clicking on the cook option on a bonfire with no raw food will no longer prevent players from adding logs to a bonfire. Bit weird. Crystal singing can no longer be assisted as was originally intended. Players who logged in before midnight UTC can now reset their daily guthixian cache XP limit by attempting to enter the cache, eliminating the need to log out and back in. The hint given when trying to open the cupboard for the probably filled with wizard's socks clue scroll has been corrected. Weekly reset in D&Ds will now reset closer to midnight UTC on Wednesdays instead of up to an hour later. Quests and achievements. Daily prayer challenges will now work correctly with cremation. An issue where basic challenges cannot be completed has been fixed. Probably a good thing. Moving on to the miscellaneous goodness, the new Ultimate Quest title has been added for players who have completed every quest like the Quest Cape. Any new quests that are released must be completed in order to keep the Ultimate Quest title. There is no longer a delay when activating prayers. Iron Man players may now purchase a Blast Fusion Hammer from outside the Blast Furnace entrance. Players can now change the colour of their keepsake glasses by recolouring a pair in their inventory. An issue on a Vital Agility course that was causing players to get stuck in the hollow log has been fixed. Bit weird. A typo in the unlock hint for Heist 2 has been fixed. The music track Pirates of Hell has been reworked. Remaining buckets will no longer be taken when adding a bucket of compost to a pie shell to make mud pie. Broadcast messages for reaching an XP milestone will now appear regardless of adventurer log settings. Giant Mole once again remembers how to punish those who seek comfort in tight spaces. Valentine's rose petals are no longer tradable. Updated an entry in the Advanced Citadel handbook that was out of date due to recent clan probation changes. Updated Amelia worker to display the correct name. Players can now move immediately after jumping off a surrounding post when wielding the golden cane. Crystal emblems will now work correctly when looted with double loot activated. Players can now take rocks from and equip statue collection bags. Marker plants can no longer be placed under portable skilling stations. Lucky chaotics now degrade properly. Players can now reclaim a gold cane, flaming head and a leprechaun hat from Diango if the item is stored in a keepsake. The name of Virago's stone clones are now consistent on right-click options and combat overlays. Added entries in the ancient hymnal for curses that have been added to the game since the release of Templar Sentistan. Players can once again obtain water from the Varrock fountain. A duplicate word in the Shadow of the Storm quest has been removed. Several typos of one of the POP voyages has been fixed. Several grammatical errors in the Shiloh Village quest have been snorted. A typo in Han's fourth chat option about the Battle Lumbie's been sorted out. Pordons and signs of item protection no longer protect items on death in dangerous clan wars, matching their functionality within the wilderness. Moving on, we got the Ninja fix. Yes, there is still more. Patches do take a while. Collect all has been added to inventory. Bank buttons have been added to the main Grand Exchange interface. Players can now use the Surge, Barge and Escape abilities in Barbarian Assault. The Wildy Worm now has an event. The Wildy Worm now has an even greater chance of spawning. The Shadow Silk Hood is now a hybrid item. Fucking I'm dying. Fair play. Wizard Elris now checks the talismans consumed by a Wicked Hood when awarding an Omni Tally. It is now easier to see what items have been previously unlocked in the Damienheim reward shop. The following changes have been made to the rune spheres in the rune span. Siphoning will now grant more experience. Players will now siphon rune dust from a rune sphere faster. Wizard Phoenix and other wizards can now help you locate the rune sphere. The rune sphere can now spawn on the top floor. Alter the chance of spawning a rune sphere so it prefers the top 2 floors. The start and shell of the rune sphere will now more closely relate to the floors it spawns upon. Am I the only one who's never fucking seen a rune sphere? I've gotten 99 3 times and I've yet to see one. Rune spheres. God damn it. I'm gonna have to do rune span just to see a rune sphere. Either way, that is pretty much it, people. That is your Monday update. So, Easter event, Miniquest, thingy-me-doo-dah, and a bollock ton of patch notes, and some guthixian butterflies for good measure. Either way, that is pretty much it. With that said, Shark Boy, I will catch you all later. Have a good one.